how does one interact without coming off too strong or creepy? So I think the first thing is to understand, what is being too strong or being too creepy even mean? Generally, when people are saying too strong, I don't think that's just about flirting. And being flirtatious and sexual and playful. I usually think it means that you come off too desperate or too needy too soon, right? Like you just met this person and you're already like obsessed with them and planning your future and thinking about like, all the trips you're going to take and telling them how they're the best person that you've ever, met in the last year. That is where it comes off too strong. It's not, a lot of guys think it just means flirting. I actually think flirting and being casually playful and sexual can come off more casual. It doesn't have to come off too strong. Usually coming off strong means, again, you're like already future projecting your life together. You're talking about how obsessed you are. You're canceling all other plans. You're telling them, oh, I don't even want to date anyone else after like maybe a few interactions. And that's pretty scary because the person's like, this guy barely knows me. He doesn't even know the real me. And he's in love or infatuated with an idea of me because he can't know the real me. So that's what I would define strong as. Creepy, I would say, is really also subjective. Just to be honest, like there is no necessarily line for creepy or not. It's often in the eye of the beholder, right? So basically, if somebody, in my opinion, a lot of times finds you attractive or desirable, you can get away with a lot more. You can be a lot more forward. You can, introduce yourself to them openly in various ways. And because they immediately find you charismatic or desirable, it's filtered in like, oh, I want this attention. If they don't find you desirable, and it's not only about looks, but maybe the way you present yourself or body language, then a lot of normal behaviors can be perceived as creepy, just talking to them or saying hello. And so I don't think you have to obsess so much about creepiness because so much of it is out of your control. It is how the person is going to perceive you and not always based in complete reality. That being said, I think when a lot of times women say a guy is creepy, they're getting a signal of this person is flirting with me, but almost as if I'm an object or just like a purely sexual conquest. So there's no actual emotional depth. You don't want to get to know them. You're not trying to also balance real conversation, but you're just the guy that's consistently flirting and hitting on them and being perverse or sexual, especially really, really sudden, like early on. That just comes across as like, okay, this person, again, doesn't know me that well. All they see me as is a sexual tool for their pleasure. And that's what feels creepy. So how do you tie these two things together about not coming off strong and not coming off creepy? A lot of guys try to compensate by hiding their romantic intentions. They don't flirt on dates, they hold back, and they're always waiting for a woman to give them a signal. The problem with that is a lot of women won't. There's a whole host of reasons why we could talk about that, but I would say the majority safely of young women are not going to be the first one to flirt with you, not going to be the first one to make a move, not going to be the first one to kiss, not going to be the first one to invite you back to her place. And so if you're waiting, you're often going to miss a lot of that because they might be interested, but they don't want to be the first one to take it there. On top of that, the act of flirting is what actually creates arousal in the moment. And so by you trying to avoid coming off creepy or strong, you're not building that side of the connection. Mostly what I would say is don't get ahead of yourself. Be excited about seeing someone, but don't be obsessed with them, right? Don't think that automatically a few dates means that they're the perfect person for you, that you should stop pursuing all other people, that you should stop pursuing other hobbies and friends, and basically dedicate all your time and thought and desire towards them. Let it play out naturally. Go on some dates, go have some fun, go hang out with friends, go talk to other women, go date around, whatever it is to balance your life. And then that will naturally feel, I think, a little bit less intense. It's when you're like always texting them, always calling them, always available, always just saying like, yeah, I'm not seeing anyone else. It feels like a lot of pressure. In terms of creepiness, same thing. I still think you should flirt, and I still think you should take the initiative. What will get creepy is if you don't actually be real sometimes. You don't want to get to know them. You don't open up. You don't show you care about conversing with them also as a real person. Or if they set boundaries and they say, hey, I'm not ready for a kiss right now, or hey, I don't like that, and you continue to cross them. That is definitely creepy, and that's the one area that I think is always true, is like somebody setting their boundaries. and then you just blow by them, basically makes you feel like, again, this guy doesn't care. All he wants is sex, or he doesn't listen to me. That's what feels creepy. So all in all, I'll just say one other thing. Start with flirting and showing interest as you get to know someone. Just balance it within everything else. Then see how they're responding to that and adjust accordingly. I can't talk about that all now, about how to read the body language and how to adjust just in a short time. But always lead with your intentions. Balance it with also your intentions of getting to know them as a human, and then adjust. Don't say, I don't want to be creepy. I don't want to make a move. I'm not going to do anything at all, and then hope something happens, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot and lose out on a ton of opportunities a lot of the time. I guess let me just comment one other thing. What I said about if somebody finds you attractive or unattractive, you also don't know that. And you can't control that. So you can do the best you can to present yourself well, dress well, have good body language, be a charismatic speaker, but you can't control how someone feels, and a lot of times it's not valid, right? If you walk up to somebody with good intentions of just saying hello and seeing if they're interested, and in their head they're like, I don't want anyone to talk to me, and this guy, I don't even know him, that's creepy. That doesn't make it real, because there's like 5 other women immediately who, if you talk to them, would be like, oh, I'd love to talk to someone and meet a great guy, and this guy seems interesting. So again, it's about self-perception. You cannot change that. You can change yourself, and I don't think you should delay and then start to wait to see if she's going to flirt with you. I think you should shoot your shot, look for getting good at emotional intelligence and reading a situation, and then adjust accordingly. That's probably one of the 2 biggest things that men come to me for and struggle with, is kind of flirting and worrying about not offending someone, and then they don't, and then they always end up as a friend, or the dates are like, I just didn't feel that spark. That's generally the reason, is the man is not flirting instead of just, and just waits for something to happen, or a magic sign.